Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with the daily technical update. It is Wednesday the 22nd of November. Just a very quick preview again today on Nvidia, which announced earnings in the aftermarket yesterday after the close there. So of course we don't have the market action, but it was almost 1% down in the aftermarket. Let's see where it opens today. But as we can see here, it kind of formed this. Well, it got rejected apparently here at the previous peak. It just closed just above. I think we'll see a couple of days with a setback, and then we'll have a look at what will happen next. I will write a piece right after the market open later today, so there will be more in depth about Nvidia. S&P 500 rejected at 45.50, still uptrend, and I think towards the end of the year we will see higher levels around 4600, maybe a little bit higher on S&P 500. The Nasdaq, which closed above 16,000 the other day, so it has done this thrust higher. Expect a little bit of a correction. It will probably, bears will probably try to challenge this gap area here. I don't think it will be closed with a close below 15,535. I don't think it will happen, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it dip a little bit lower into the gap area. And remember, usually market is fairly strong or fairly positive going into the Thanksgiving week, but after the weekend there's usually some profit taking that will be next week. The EUROSTOXX dancing around 43.40, a little bit stressed here, and we should see a correction also on the EUROSTOXX index. Excuse me. 16,000 on DAX. I think that would be a really hard nut to crack for DAX. I mean, we could see a spike above, but we are also ripe for a correction fairly soon on the DAX index. It has been a very strong response. It has had the past 2 weeks or so. AX still range bound between 750 and 763, so not really much to report there. Belgium market support here at 30, just above 3,500. I still believe we will see a test of the 35.75 resistance and a close above that level and above the cloud. Well, we could see a move up to around 36.30 level. So it has been lacking a little bit. What has not been lacking is the CAC 40. There's room up to around 7,330 around that. You can see that's a little bit of sell-off back here, and that's where we put the resistance around that level. That's where it closed back then. But towards the end of the year, well, we could see CAC towards 7,400. SMI moving higher, finally taking off. We have this morning, we have the RSI above 60, as you can see down here, testing the upper rising trend line, and that's not a strong one. It has to remember that it's just merely just a guideline to see if there's any channel or wedge or anything like that pattern there. So I think we will see SMI moving up to just below 11,000 around that level. There's some strong resistance. We have the 100 coming down. We have some resistance around 10,930. 60 and 11,000. So a long strong resistance up here. I don't think we will move much higher than that towards the end of the year. Euro dollar being rejected at the 61.8 retracement at 109.60, and the resistance level here can't close above. I would say we will get a correction, possibly down to around 108. I'm not quite sure we'll get all the way down there, but in that region over here the next couple of days. Trend is still up, so a break above yesterday's peak will send it higher towards 111. That is really some bounce, to say the least. Cable testing resistance at 125.46. It is in an uptrend, but it's stalling a little bit. But a break higher above yesterday's high at 125.60. could pay the way higher towards 127.20, 27.5 around that level here, and the 61.8 retracement. Dollar yen bounced off the 147.30 support, forming this it's like a hammer, right? So and now we are back above the 149.05. It's now a resistance and the 55 moving average. If we can close back above, I would expect a move in coming weeks towards the 152 again. So that's quite interesting. This is a kind of a bottom and reversal pattern, and we also have the 40 RSI that actually did hold. So still in a positive sentiment and likely to move higher. Also, Euro yen didn't really correct all the way down to the 61.8. Of course, it can still occur, but I don't think so. Buyers are coming back in on the yen pairs and move higher. So if we end with a positive day today, well, then we could see Euro yen moving higher. It's supported by RSI, which is positive, and there's no divergence. Aussie yen also bouncing off this 96.82 support, and Aussie yen has been really interesting how it's been moving between these support and resistance levels. And now we are back above currently at 97.67, resistance at 98.55, of course, and we could test that also fairly soon. Aussie dollar rejected just below the 66 and the 200 moving average, and a little bit of a setback. I think we will see some range bound trading between 66 and down to around 65, maybe dipping a little bit lower here in the coming weeks. Dollar index bouncing just above the 103 level, where we had some strong support around 102.86. We are back above the 200 moving average, and I think we will slowly move towards 104.39, which will be key for being either rejected or close above. If it closes above, then there's a further upside potential towards 105 plus. But it could easily start sliding back. We still have a negative sentiment on the RSI, so there's still some downwards pressure for sure. Gold is on the move again, dancing around 2,000 level. It's more like a psychological level, and that's why there's a lot of action going on around here. But we are in a positive sentiment, bullish trend. If we can break above the 2009-2010 peak here back from October, well, then there is room up to 2040, but there's actually room all the way up to around 2070. 70-80 level here, and that is something that should be observed. There's no divergence on our side, so it just indicates we are likely to see higher highs on the gold. Silver still trying to close above 23.78 and the falling trend line here, so a little bit of a struggle really. It did form this top and reversal pattern here. Is trying to cancel it, so I would say expect a couple of days with sideways trading. Let's see if it can break these resistance levels there. And copper also interesting. See if we can get the chart to update. There we are. Rejected yesterday at the falling trend line and the 382.20 resistance, very strong resistance there. If we get a negative day today, we have a bit of a top and reversal like pattern. It's not the most perfect one, but nevertheless we had this doji here followed by a negative day possibly, so we could see a setback down to around 370, but this level is really something you should keep an eye on. On the oil markets, not much really going on here after the bounce. We still need a break above, and let's just draw a little bit of a trend line there, or a marker. Sorry, that was right there. It needs to break above that level for to get any kind of upside momentum. 79.70 on the WTI, and on Brent we are talking about just around 84. On the US 10-year, really not much to say either. Sliding a little bit lower, but can't really break below 436. There's this 100 moving average coming up there that should be observed. And again, I will point your attention to the future. It still hasn't closed above, has it? No, EURUSD has still closed below 60, so that's really something. I know it's broken above this resistance level here, but it's not the most perfect one. So let's see here the next couple of days. It seems like something is warming up to make a break there. All right, that's all for today. There will be out reports on euro dollar index and cable, and there will be an analysis on the Nvidia after the earnings, and it will be out just after market open. Have a nice day and happy trading.